What's up YouTube? I'm gonna be showing you guys the process of replacing your CFMOTO 450SS clutch the right way and with torque specs. I also will have pictures, diagrams, whatever you want to call it, of how the plates and everything are supposed to look, because I unfortunately went through the trouble of messing it up and actually having to learn and search the internet for hours, looking through forums and just a whole bunch of crap to figure out how to properly do it. I'm gonna try to give y'all the best in-depth way of doing it. So first off, you're gonna need to take your fairings off. You can do it with them on, but it just makes the process so much easier. You'll also need to take this bracket off, or just unscrew it. It's just attached to the rear set with two little bolts right there and right there. Once you've taken that off, you're gonna want to take your rear brake reservoir off. It's on a bracket attached to the frame right there, because the bracket covers this bolt right here. As you can see, my bolts are already kind of off. I kind of just quickly put it together because I'm also working on some other things, and I just figured I'd show you guys how to do it. So the first few things you're gonna want to do is either drain your oil, lean your bike, or have an oil pan ready, because when you crack it open, you're gonna leak oil if it's not drained or on its side. Alright, so once you've done that and we're at this point, the first thing you're going to do is take off your cable from the clutch lever arm. It's pretty simple. All you're going to be doing is just slightly pushing it forward and then leaning, and then you can just pull it right back. It'll come off just like that. The next thing you want to do is take off your clutch cable from this bracket. Same thing, you're just going to want to loosen these all the way to where this nut's free and this one's out the way. And then you're going to do this. You're going to yank it back. It's going to be a little tight fit. And then you're just going to slide it back just like that. And then you can move it out the way. Pretty simple, huh? Next thing you're going to want to do is take this and rotate it counterclockwise. Boom. Just like that. It disengages the pull rod inside. So once you've done that, now we can get into taking all 10 bolts off of the clutch cover. You're going to want to do them in a star pattern. So if you're doing this one, that one, that one, that one, alright, just to loosen them up. Once you can do it with your hand, you can pretty much just take them all off at that point. Alright, once you've done that, you're probably going to have to pry this off. And there's a little groove up here right behind the bracket that holds the cable. Use a crowbar or something, just wedge it in between there and you can just pop it off. It's gonna be a little difficult, but it shouldn't take too much effort. Just gonna take that off like so and expose the clutch. Once you get to this point, you're gonna want to take the clutch springs and the bolts out. So it's just these three. It's very simple. Just try to do it evenly, unless you don't care about the springs getting messed up or you're replacing them. Then just go free willy. Alright. Boom. Take those off. Set them to the side. Now all you're going to do is you're going to pull off the pressure plate. You're just simply you can just pull the pull rod. Alright. When you take this off, try to keep the plates together as much as you can. Like so. Just take them off one by one if you have to, and put them back on the pressure plate to make your life so much more easier. Alright, you don't need to take out these retaining clips if you're not replacing them. But if you're replacing them, then yeah, you should take them out. And there's just two of them back there. So I'm going to show you guys the right orientation for the plates, one by one. And I'll show you the difference between them. because they're not all the same. So like this one is slightly bigger and longer. And this one is shorter and wider. The shorter and wider one is the back one. Then you put a steel plate. Then you have this thin one. And then you put a steel plate. Just how I'm doing it. Boom. Then you have another thin one. Just like how I'm doing. Steel plate. Then you got another thin one. Thin and long. Boom. Steel plate. And then it switches back to a short and wide one. Boom. And then you will have two leftover, one steel plate and one short and wide one. These two you're going to want to put on the friction plate. And there's a certain way it needs to be put on. So I just recommend putting it on like this, right? Put your friction plate, and then you're just going to take this one that's looks different, and you're just going to lock it in, right? So you don't forget this. And just put this to the side. Cool. Now that you know what orientation this is, right? Back to front. Right? So you put the last one down first. So you're going to flip it over like this, right? And so like I said, you're going to have the thick one, and they're going to go in just right here in the long slot. You have this thick and short one. You're going to slide it right back, just like that. And you're going to take a steel plate, just like this, and put it right there. Boom. And then you got the longer ones, right? They're not short and wide, they're long and skinny. You're going to have this one after that, and then another steel plate. You're going to have another long and skinny. Boom. And then another steel plate to another long and skinny. Like so. Boom. And then this, guess what? Steel plate. And then this one, your last two should be the short and wide ones. So you got the short and wide one. And then like I told you guys to do in the beginning, you have this steel plate that is completely different than the rest, and then another short and wide one. Oh, and also make sure you put the pull rod back in there. So with this, you're going to want to line this one up with the short one right here. This is the only one that is going to be misaligned from the rest. But you're also going to have to orientate these into the right place too. So you may have to, like, you know, finagle with it a little bit, because these, as you can see, they're slightly angled and it locks into these. So you may have to like move it a little bit, but shouldn't be that bad. So like boom, just slight pressure, don't like bang it in or anything, just to make sure it locks in, right? Well, just like that. I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is the only one that is different, like misaligned from the rest, and it has the other steel plate that is completely different than the rest of the steel plates right behind it. And if you remember, you can go back and watch. It's short, wide, weird steel plate, short, wide, steel plate, long, skinny, long, skinny, long, skinny, short, wide, right? And in between that is obviously the steel plates. That is it. All right. So once you've done that, you're going to want to take your springs and put them back on. Tighten them down. Try to get it as even as possible. Hand tight. Just slow turns all the way down. Don't try to put too much tension on one specific spring. Oh, side note, you might want to put it into gear. All you gotta do is just pop it up, and then you just twist it and it'll click into gear. Or I'll show y'all real quick. Lean over, pull it up, and then it went straight into gear actually. And all I did was just lean over, pull the shift lever up, and then just twist this, but I didn't have to twist it. It went right into gear. But you might want to do that just so it's not spinning if you had it in neutral. All right, once those are pretty hand tight, you're gonna want to torque them down to 10 nanometers. All right, I have a torque wrench, so I'm going to use a torque wrench so y'all can see. Boom, 10. 10. 10. Cool. Once you've torqued that down, you're gonna put your gasket sealer on. For the purpose of this video, I'm not doing it because I'm gonna have to take it off anyway. But you're gonna put your gasket sealer on, follow those instructions, whatever, and then you're gonna seat this, and make sure you have that, and you also want, side note, you want to clean off obviously the old gasket and all that stuff, and make sure it's dry and everything before you put your gasket on, so you don't so it seals properly. I'm just for the purpose of this video, I'm not doing that. But once you've done that, you're gonna take it and you're gonna seat it. All right, you're gonna seat it, and then you're gonna want to get these down to like hand tight, each one, before you tighten them down. Trust me, it will save you a lot of trouble. I'm not gonna put them all in because this is just, like I said, just showing you guys how to do it. I'm not torquing it down all the way. But boom, say I got all the bolts in. You're gonna want to torque these bolts down to 10 nanometers as well. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the lever, you're gonna rotate it clockwise, back clockwise, and you should have tension. Right, you should be able to do this. That means that it's pulling and pushing back. If it's too loose, you probably did something wrong. So boom, you've rotated that clockwise. Now you're gonna take your clutch cable and you're gonna run it back the same way you took it off, like that. Ooh. And you're gonna slide it through, and now all you gotta do is the same thing in reverse. Is take this, and then you're gonna do that, come down here, you're gonna adjust your cable of you should have at least 2 to 3 millimeters of free play on your clutch cable. And what does that mean? It means, so if you guys see right here, it's basically before it gets too tough for you to push, and without putting any tension on the cable. So the cable shouldn't be like pulling this back, right? It shouldn't be doing that. As you do that, it should be exactly how that is, right? And it should only be 2 to 3 millimeters. It's not a lot of room. It's probably like that much. You should only be able to push it that much before it's like gets super hard to push. If you did that and everything is torqued down correctly, you should be good to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Everything was done like by the book, the correct way. Like I said, I did hours and hours of searching the internet, forums, whole bunch of places to find all the torque specs and all that information. I've seen videos online, but they never have like the actual information. So I just made it a purpose to go out my way for you guys or anyone else that wants to replace their clutch. And also, I've seen people, you know, make videos of doing it, but not showing like the correct way that they put it, or not showing the way that they put it on, which is kind of messed up, because the whole reason of people watching your video is so they can see it step by step. So I hope this video was enough of a guide for you guys to understand and get it done yourself, like I said. So that's why I wanted to go out of my way to make this video for you guys, so you can actually see it done the right way, step by step. No BS, no go look in your manual. Like, I gave you guys all the information that I know and all the information that I could find, torque specs, whatever, right? I tried my best. I hope you enjoyed it. But anyway, peace.